They raised her up like this. Here's your baby. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about my labor and delivery. For any of you guys who are new here, welcome. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and if you do, make sure you guys check out my other videos, which I will be linking up in the cards up the top corner. So yeah, let's get to the video. I'm gonna start off with like the last few bits of my pregnancy, which was 38 weeks. So I already had my baby shower. I'm kind of mad that I didn't record any bits of my baby shower like that. So the last bits of my pregnancy, I was starting to like wonder if I'm going to be dilating and anything like that. So at my 38 weeks checkup at my doctor, they started checking for my dilation, and dilating is when your cervix starts opening up. So it's like, I don't know, I mean, 0 centimeters is closed, 1 centimeter is like this, 2 centimeters, and then, you know, eventually I think 10 centimeters is like maybe this big, maybe a little bigger. So I was at 0 centimeters, and I was like, okay, you know, that's fine. I was hoping for like 1, but I wasn't, and I wasn't, you know, I wasn't too pressed about that. I wasn't really expecting to go into labor at 38 weeks. And then after that 38-week appointment, I started getting appointments every week. So after 38 weeks, I went to 39-week appointment. So I went to my 39-week appointment, and they checked my cervix again, and I was still at 0 centimeters, and I was kind of bummed out about that. At my next 40-week appointment, they checked my dilation, and I was still at 0. And so then I was like, okay, well, that sucks. I'm not going into labor anytime soon. I'm 40 weeks, that's full term. I may actually be overdue. And so the doctor was telling me, you know, if I'm not showing any signs of dilation over the weekend, or I haven't gone into labor over the weekend, then we're gonna schedule an induction for the following business day, which was Monday. I was like, okay. So we went home, we just took the weekend as it was, and I was just, you know, kind of hoping I would start going into labor. I've been doing everything to try to start my labor process, such as doing the WAP dance. I went onto YouTube, I tried the WAP dance. I didn't really do that great, but the WAP dance at 40 weeks pregnant was not fun. It was not it. I ended up hurting my back a little bit, and I was like, no, I didn't really, no. I tried that baby mama dance. Y'all know that one? Y'all know that baby mama dance? Like, if you a baby mama. You know that one? Yeah. So I did that, and that didn't really do much for me. And then at that point, I was just tired, so I just like took a break. I tried eating like some spicy foods. Spicy foods didn't really do anything for me. I did, however, feel like Braxton Hicks, which aren't labor contractions, but they're contractions. But they weren't that bad or anything. It wasn't bothering me, so I knew it wasn't something to really worry about. Nothing else following after that. Sunday rolled in, still nothing. And then the whole day of Monday came, and no signs. So we went to the hospital for my scheduled induction. I checked into the labor and delivery suite. It was an okay suite. I thought it was, I mean, I was kind of expecting it to be a little bigger, but it was fairly big. It was nice-ish. But yeah, so I got checked in. They hooked me up to the saline, like an IV. I was so mad. So when they were trying to put the saline in me, like the little IV needle, they tried putting it on my arm right here, but they blew straight through the vein. Like the nurses blew straight through the vein, and it gave me, oh gosh, it hurt so bad. And like it gave me a huge bruise. It was just horrible. But then eventually they just had to put it like right here, and that hurt really bad. Mainly just because it's like, I think bone, I don't really know, but it hurt. And they didn't really start the induction process till like 8 p.m. So I got to have like my last final actual meal, which was pizza. Around 9 p.m.-ish, the nurse came in and she gave me Cervidil. It was one small pill, and she had to cut it up into fourths. And so every, I think, couple of hours or every 4 hours, she had to give me the other piece of the pill. So I took that pill, and the Cervidil is supposed to soften your cervix and help you dilate. So it's not anything to start your contractions, but it could start your contractions. So I had to stay up all night just because, you know, I had to take the pill every few hours or so. And they had me hooked up to the baby monitor as well. Like they had these little straps on my stomach, and it monitored Isabella's heartbeats and her movements and things like that, and also monitored my heartbeats and all of that good jazz. It also monitored the contractions too. So I didn't really start having contractions until maybe like 7 a.m. ish. Maybe, no, not even 7 a.m. It was more like 3 a.m. Yeah, so I started having contractions around 3 a.m. and they were like one every 15 minutes. And I thought, wow, is this what contractions really feel like? After taking the Cervidil, the nurse was saying I was having contractions, but I did not know I was having contractions. I didn't feel them at all, and I'm like, maybe I can actually get through this without epidural. And my plan was to go without epidural. Around 3 a.m., I actually felt my first contraction, like physically, I felt it myself, and I was like, that wasn't that bad. You know, it just feels like a regular period cramp. And then, oh, but little did I know, around 7 a.m., boom, I got hit with all those contractions. It was horrible. Around like 8 a.m., oh my gosh, my contractions started coming every 2 minutes, back to back. My body did not get a break. They were supposed to hook me up onto the Pitocin, but the nurses saw that the Cervidil was doing the job to start the labor contractions, and holy, it was horrible. I cried. It was that bad. I was like sitting there in the hospital bed, bawling my eyes out. The nurses was telling me, you know, just breathe through them. Gosh, it made me so mad when they just kept saying breathe through them. I know they're there to help me, but when you're going through something like that, it's like the last thing you want to hear. I mean, I'm glad that they were telling me and coaching me to breathe through it. It kind of helped. By that time, my plan was still try not to go with the epidural. They had the option to give me like, I think it was like laughing gas. Laughing gas was supposed to like, I hear Isabella. She was down for a nap. She may be waking up. I think she's waking up. I'm gonna go check. She's awake from her nap. Say hi. Say hi, boo. So yeah, so the laughing gas was supposed to like ease the pain. It's supposed to let the contractions feel more bearable, but the tank wasn't really working that well, and they tried getting me to test it out, and it wasn't working because I was still feeling those contractions really bad, and it wasn't easing anything. And I'm like, I don't think this is working, and they were having troubles with it too, so they just rolled it out. I just had to suffer through those contractions until like, I think 10 a.m. where I decided, okay, enough's enough. Get me the epidural. Get me the epidural. Because this one is giving me bad contractions. I'm tired of it. So they set me up for the epidural. What they did was they had me sit on the edge of the bed, and I was supposed to be hunched over like this. They gave me a numbing needle, but then after that, a nurse put in like the actual epidural needle. I didn't feel that at all. So after the epidural hit, I took the fattest nap ever. It was like, I think the afternoon when I woke up. So my doctor, he would periodically come in and check my cervix for dilation, and I was just slowly dilating, like very slow. I need some water. I was slowly dilating, and I think the most I got dilated to was a 6, and that was so disappointing. At the end of the day on Tuesday, I was only dilated to like 4 or something like that. So by midnight of Tuesday, it was more like early Wednesday morning, like 2 a.m. Wednesday morning, I started feeling like this pressure in my butt, like I have to poop, and usually that's when they say, you know, that's when you're ready to push. So I paged the nurse and I'm like, oh my gosh, guys, I have this huge pressure. And Rodrigo, he was fast asleep. The nurses checked my dilation, and they said that I'm really close, like I'm 8 to 9 centimeters. I'm like, wow, okay, like I'm about to have this baby right now. I'm about to push this baby out right now. And they woke Rodrigo up for me, and then the doctor came in and he checked my dilation just for him to say I was only a 6. When I tell you, I was so mad, I wanted to cry. I'm like, yo, what? So you're telling me I'm not ready to push? So the doctor gave me options because I was already in labor for a day and a half already. He was like, well, since you are slowly progressing, you can either try to wait this out to see if you can dilate even more, or we can start prepping you for a C-section. and I was like, you know what, just give me the C-section, because I was tired of it. The epidural was wearing off. I was starting to feel the contractions again, and since the epidural was wearing off, they had to redo the epidural for me. By I think 5 a.m. that's when they rolled me off to the operating room for the C-section. I didn't feel anything, of course. I was also on the epidural still. So then they started the process. They started the procedure. I didn't feel anything at all. I didn't feel the pain, is what I mean. So all I felt was like the pressure of them like moving around in my stomach and all of that, my guts. I felt them. And then maybe like 10 minutes into the procedure, moment I knew that she was out was I heard the nurse say, "Hi." And as soon as I heard that hi, I heard her start crying, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's here. And like they raised her up like this. Here's your baby. They kind of raised her like she was Simba. Gosh, it was such an emotional moment for me. I was like, oh my gosh, she's really here. She's so pretty. She's so perfect. Rodri and I, we were both over here like on the verge of crying. We're like, oh my gosh, like this is Isabella. She just farted, y'all. I think she's farting or she's pooping. I can't tell. Rodrigo went and cut her umbilical cord. I didn't get to see that because it was like on the other side of the room. He cut her umbilical cord. I think they weighed her first. So she was weighing 6 pounds and 14 ounces. She was born at 5:58 in the morning. Once they weighed her and he cut her umbilical cord, they gave her to me. So what the hospital does over there, oh my gosh, girl. Please don't tell me you're having a blowout. Are you enjoying your poop? So the hospital, they allow the new moms to have 1 hour of skin to skin, and since I was laying down, you know, they gave Isabella to me. As much as I would love to have like an hour skin to skin with her, I could not. My arms were tired, and I only held her for like maybe 5 minutes until I passed her off to Rodrigo, and then he went with the nurses to clean Isabella up. As much as I wanted to watch her get bathed and all that and cleaned up, I couldn't. They had to patch me up. That was the longest 30 minutes of my life, getting stitched back up. And so once I was done, once they're done with the operation, they rolled me into the recovery room. And that's when they also brought Isabella in, maybe like 10 minutes, no, not 10 minutes, 5 minutes later, and I held her, and it was such a perfect moment. I was like, oh my goodness, my baby's finally here! After being in my belly for so long, and after being in labor for so long, she's finally here. Say hi. But anyways, that is my labor and delivery story, y'all. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys hit this video with a thumbs up and comment and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next video, which will be dropping next Wednesday at 4 p.m. So yeah, thank you. Bye. Say bye.